Hey everybody, welcome back to the Multiverse of Madness. I'm your host, Yali Perez, your watcher, if you will. And I will
Snitch.
intervene. You can't keep calling me a snitch. Matt's fired. Anyways, so just kidding. Welcome back, you guys. Today we're gonna be talking about episode 2 of What If. Like I said, I'm Yali. I work here at Fandom Spotlite. I work for even bigger anime, and it's only one option now, so you guys know which one it is. I am joined by some of my favorite people on Earth. First up, let's go with LeBron James' son and the co-host of the
Hey,
Ether podcast. Matt, say what's up to everybody
it's
again.
Rogue One checking in like always. Back again. Don't fire me, please. I'm sorry. I have to be talking shit. But I am back again. Super, super excited about today's episode. Super excited.
Back again. Next up is Fandom Spotlight writer and the tabletop wizard himself, Ant-Man lover. Remember to drink every time he brings up Ant-Man. Joseph, say hey.
Hi.
And then
This most Wookieest hi.
He did sound a little Wookiee, actually. And then last but not least is the hardest working man in comic books and comics out there, moderating and all that. Victor Dandridge, say what's up.
Hello.
All right, everybody. So welcome back. Like I said, we're doing episode 2, What If, and that is T'Challa becoming a Star-Lord? What? This episode was a little bit longer than the previous one. Before we jump into that, stuff was happening on the interweb with Marvel. We got the Eternals final trailer, and we learned that Riri Williams is going to be in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So I want you guys to share how you feeling about that. Kevin Feige said something about Avengers 5 is going to be dope. I ain't really paying attention. He said it's coming, and I was like, okay, duh. And if you want, we know that. And if you want a Spider-Man trailer, just wait, like everybody else does. Stop harassing him. So yeah, how did you guys feel about the Eternals trailer? How did you feel about Riri Williams? Let's start with you, Victor.
So the Eternals trailer had my whole life. The amount of explanation that they gave, I was just like, yes, answer all the questions. So that way, when we watch this movie, we're not watching like, wait, why did this? We're just going in, experiencing the movie. Make that happen. That's the best way. The Riri thing, I was excited, but I don't love Riri Williams as a character. Okay. I feel like she was created during a time period where the superhero Black Girl magic was, let's make her really smart. And that's cool, except when you reuse that over and over and over again, then it becomes almost this weird default thing. So I've never really been a huge fan of Riri Williams as a character. Her appearing in Black Panther, I think makes sense, because I think there should be some correlation between the smart, Black women of the Marvel universe. So Shuri being the genius that she is, her bestie should be Riri. And if not, then what are we doing? I mean, they should be a team. Shariri. Hello, come on.
Shariri.
Let's go.
I love
it. Matt, how do you feel about the Eternals and Shariri?
So for the Shariri, it's funny, but I'm kind of my conspiracy theory, because all this stuff happened with Letitia Wright with like her COVID comment, and a lot of people are like, we're speculating that she got kicked out of the movie. I kind of feel like this casting might kind of hint at that she might have got kicked out of the movie. And she's kind of, Riri Williams is kind of like taking her place, because the Ironheart, they've been talking about the show, and now introducing her before her show was kind of opposite of what they've been doing. I was like, dang, maybe old girl did she got the axe. But I would love them to be a tag team. I think that would be fire, and that does make a lot of sense. But that Eternals trailer, man, did I watch that like a million times.
And so did the internet, apparently.
Because on like, it usually happens in like anime shows, but sometimes it happens like TV. Like when they'll introduce a new character, like the end of an episode, and leave you like, oh, who was that? And then the following episode will be like a flashback sequence filler to like introduce who the character was to make him important. I thought that's what Eternals was going to be, like a super duper unrelated movie to like hype them up for when they did come join. so we like them now. But then like them mentioning mad Marvel events in that trailer, I was like, oh, it's all connected. Let's go. so excited. I'm so excited.
I love it.
Joseph, how about you? How did you feel about those two that happened?
So the Ironheart, it was interesting. I've seen some really fun speculation on like her role as the character with everything that like has a lot to do with the outreach center that was built in I think it was Oakland that they built.
Yep.
And like using that as an origin link, kind of this is why the character knows the other characters and that kind of stuff. And I thought that was really fun. The Letitia Wright thing, like I don't think they're gonna boot her out of the movie, but I'm pretty certain after the comments she made, they're gonna be like, let's reduce the level that she's in them at the very least. Because still a great character, an important character. And I don't know, I know that right before she said all this stuff, people were like, she should be the Black Panther now.
that went away real quick. They was like, never mind. Never mind.
But as far as I'm down. I always love that. That's like some of the best Marvel stuff is the cross-pollination when these characters meet each other and are involved. That's like why the best episode from season 2 of Iron Fist was the one Luke Cage was in. It's the same principle. It's when these characters get together and they actually have good chemistry, it's amazing times. That's why Falcon and the Winter Soldier in part was so good, is because Bucky and Sam actually have really good chemistry together as well.
Even antagonistically.
It was kind of boring with Steve and Bucky because they were just like super,
because you knew they were never going to do it, but like with Bucky,
so much sexual attention, so much sexual attention.
It was there, and you're just like, guys, just do it. We know. But like with Sam and Bucky, like you like they do care about each other. They're really good friends, but they also really hate each other. Like they drive each other up the wall. It's like the Perfect Strangers or the Odd Couple kind of vibe, and I love it.
It's like when you meet your cousin's cousin that you're not that you're not related to. You're like,
or your best friend's other best friend.
Right. Your best friend. No new friends, okay? None
at all.
The Eternals, I dig. I have no idea what's happening still, and I'm kind of happy because like everything phase 1 through 4, like I have enough comic knowledge and I'm like, I can kind of guess what's gonna happen. I'm gonna see where this is going a little bit, but like everything's super cosmic with like the Eternals and stuff. I'm like, I have no clue what's happening. So it's like new territory for me. The part of the trailer I dug the most is Kumail Nanjiani with finger guns.
Oh yeah.
that was so fun.
I'm pretty sure that he just did that and that wasn't in the script.
Probably wasn't.
It's beautiful. Like, do it.
Just do some finger guns. I like Riri Williams. I know a lot of the younger kids I know, like that's their jam. And being from Philly, like we fuck with Riri because Amalgam Comics, the creator of that, was in the comic with them. So like Riri's our chick. The Eternals, at one point I was like, why is there so many people? Well, like for me, their group seems too large. You know what I mean? Like a K-pop group with too many singers.
No. They're 6 feet apart. They're COVID distancing. That's
There's like 10 of them.
Like that group shot, I was like, do we need all 10? Like, what is this? Like, it felt like a lot of people.
They're probably only going to focus on like 4.
Probably.
Yeah, right.
But that's just a group scene. Like everybody was like, whoa. And I went like, there's too many people breathing the same air, and I don't think that we should cut like 6 of them.
The rest of them are going to be like the ex-cons from the Ant-Man movies.
Take a drink. Should be drinking.
There we go.
But I'm still excited. I know a little bit about the Eternals, but not too much. But the one thing I want to ask you guys, everyone on the internet is saying, is that Galactus?
No, good God.
Oh, the Celestials? No. Not even a little bit.
Galactus was trending as #1 for like several hours.
Was it really?
Because people were like, that's Galactus.
If they're gonna write any one of the Celestials into the corner of being Galactus, it's the one that they used as the description of what the Power Stone can do in the first Guardians movie.
Right. The Seeker.
Purple.
Something the Seeker. Right. I forget what his first name is.
I think the one from the Guardians was like the Judge.
I thought the red one from the Celestials trailer was the Judge, the one that they showed.
I thought that was the Seeker.
Oh, then it's just yes.
Galactus.
It's yes. That's just the answer.
Everyone.
Although I am willing to entertain the idea that the reason why the Eternals have awakened is because Galactus is coming. I'm willing to entertain that, but we did not see Galactus as a flyby in this trailer. Get out of here.
It's Mephisto.
Exactly.
Everything's Mephisto.
What I've been saying since the Loki panel from
There you
day
go.
one.
There you
It's
go.
Mephisto. So yeah, and also the other news was that Anthony Mackie was coming back to be in the Captain America movie, but I was like, didn't they say at the end of the show?
they
He will
definitely said that.
return.
So
Yeah.
I don't know why
No,
we
no,
all
no.
like,
No. What it was they had to have a conversation about that check. That's what it
No,
was. He was like, listen,
he
I'm
deserves
coming
it.
back, but
I'm right.
Why assume he was coming back when he did the commercial? Because why would you do the commercial if you didn't come back to do
Hey,
the
listen.
And opened up the Disney park.
Come on, bro. Come on. Terrence Howard taught him everything. He was like, hey, man, you better go ahead and get that check in writing, man.
He called Terrence and Ed Norton. He's like, yo, bro, like, what should I do?
I said I'm coming back, but am I coming back, though?
I mean, that's true, but like, are you gonna take career advice from Terrence Howard when it comes to the MCU?
Nah.
No, hey, listen, it
He's the one
depends on
person
whether or
who's
not
not in
Terrence
the
Howard is the
multiverse.
dude that got him in. Listen, the last thing that Anthony Mackie wants is for Terrence Howard to drag him and be like, he used to be my friend, man, but then he
Man.
took my check. That's the last thing he wants.
Terrence
Who
Howard
told
is
him to
the
be
only
Falcon, man?
Terrence
You know
Howard's
what I'm
the only
saying?
one not coming back in the multiverse. I put money on that. So okay, so this week's episode is all about T'Challa, him becoming
Loved it.
Star-Lord. What time did you guys watch this? I'm gonna be honest, this time I watched it at 3:00. I ain't wait till the day of this, this
Good job.
show.
Good
I
job.
watched it at 3.
Good job.
So I was up there and with everybody, tweeting up a storm. There was a lot of tears on the timeline. What time did you guys, or what day did you guys watch it? Whoever wants to go first, go on ahead.
I watched it. We watched it on the day of release, but it was like 6-7 o'clock at night because
Nice.
wait for the wife.
Got a wife. Yeah,
And-
that's
Yep.
And yes, so much crying, so much just like
Can we pause this, please?
No
Yeah.
one else at 3:00.
I didn't do it 3:00. I waited until my daughter woke up. Because that's like our thing now. And so it was like 9-ish that we watched it.
Yep.
That I watched it the first time. Let me say that correctly, because I've definitely seen it a couple times. More than a
So
couple.
you put yourself through that heartache more than once, is what you're saying.
It's
Brave
gotta-
man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I did it for the culture. I did it for y'all, really. Like, that's
We appreciate it.
So these tears.
I did it for The Rock.
Oh.
How about you, Matt? What time did you watch?
Nah, I appreciate y'all for getting that reference.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I watched it Wednesday morning. So I was up at like 2:55 a.m. Like I just one of those, oh snap, I didn't even realize what time it was. And I was like, oh, it's about to come out. And then I fell asleep.
Not the first
T'Challa
people you watched
disappointed
you.
in you.
Like it was like 3:29 and I was like, oh, let's go. And then I fell asleep. So yeah, like Vic, I watched it like real early this morning. Like Wednesday morning, I watched it early in the morning.
Nice,
All right,
nice.
So everyone did their homework on time. We totally
right.
appreciate it. So again, like I said, this episode, I'll have to start with what I really liked about it, and which is it moved fast, but not fast in a way that felt like, yo, they're hurrying up these 40 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? And I kind of got the feeling like I wish they started with this one. Like I agree with Victor, like it's going in like chronological order of like when things happen. But I was just like, this was just like really, really funny. Like right off the gate, it was very like emotional. The episode itself, and not just because it was Chadwick Boseman's voice, it was so good. And then like there's a couple surprise things. I don't want to get there yet, but I know when I saw, I was like, no, the fuck they did not, you know.
Oh, they did.
Oh, but they definitely did.
So much. They did.
They
Oh,
did.
We got to talk about that because I think we all collectively are suggesting this one particular thing.
The crazy thing was, I heard their voice first because that's how they do it, and I'm like, that is not Josh fucking Brolin. And then,
But it was.
I was like, get the fuck out of here! Like,
He was in the credits, but I
He
thought they were
was.
just gonna have like a little moment or something, and it was
not
was
this.
He
so
was
much
in this
more.
episode.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I guess we'll just jump
Yeah.
into it. T'Challa being the wonderful human being that he is,
Fixed the universe.
he fixed the universe. He said, Thanos, you ain't gotta kill everybody. And Thanos was like, you know what? That's a great idea.
Hold on. Can we tack on to that the idea that not only did he convince Thanos, we certainly know that he was smashing Nebula. Like, without question,
sure.
Calling him Cha-Cha.
So not only are you telling me that you convinced the Mad Titan to settle down, but you smashing his daughter and he knows it and still calls you boss? Wow.
Yes. That's
yeah. So the big part of the episode is, like I said, it's not state. So they didn't grab Star-Lord because they were like, well, Peter Quill, he was like, well, he has eyes, he has ears, he has a nose, he has a mouth.
Yeah.
We got
Taser.
the right kid,
Taserface.
They left Kraglin and Taserface in charge of finding him, and that was like the dumbest move.
But I understood what they like when they explained it. I was like, yeah, I can see how you made a mistake. You know?
I thought that was so funny, like how that was the Nexus event that Yondu just didn't feel like doing it. It was like, yo, go do this real quick.
Yo.
I have lackeys for a reason.
Oh man,
the boy.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was just, and even like the casting of this one has the most of the returning cast as far as what I've seen like online, and it was just so funny and unexpected, and it's something that made me cry. Because you can tell like Chadwick was having a good time in his voice acting.
Absolutely.
You could tell that he was having fun, and it was just like,
which I will make a note. The voice acting was like 100% better in this one than the first episode.
100%.
We didn't have Sebastian Stan phoning in his lines. We had,
no, but we did have Digimon Houston not sounding like Digimon.
No, he did not.
Yeah, I didn't think it was him.
I thought it was still Lamar the whole time.
Which is true. He never plays happy in anything.
He
Very
doesn't.
true.
He's all 7 years. You know, like it's
not
just,
even in real life. He's never.
He was playing so excited and happy and just like, this is my best friend. This is my best friend.
You know, we like this, bro.
What did he say at the end? He was like, I don't want to put a title on it, but we're basically best friends. Basically best friends.
You know,
like if he could have been in trouble with Nebula and them, he would have did it. He would have been so
absolutely.
You did
what you mean would have? You don't know that he wasn't.
You think well, it's space. You don't know what T'Challa was doing.
Look, you're right.
Cha-Cha was getting busy.
You know what I'm saying?
Your nickname ain't Cha-Cha for no reason.
You know what I'm saying? You know how to dance. You know what I'm saying? Cha-Cha real smooth. You know what I'm saying?
Look, you already know.
Yeah, basically, I love the episode from start to finish. It was really not what I was expecting, and I think that was my favorite part about it. It's like when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna have to go back and watch the movie because I'm gonna, and like you don't even need to watch Black Panther or Guardians of the Galaxy
at all
to truly enjoy this one. Like it was just so fun, and I give him so much respect for creating something that people would be super surprised by.
As a matter of fact, the only real link, like the actual only plot point that's like the same as the beginning, where he's on Morag getting the sphere, and then everything else is a completely different story.
And even that he did better than Quill. Like how he took the gravity thing and just held it to the drum, but Quill like set it all up. And then he's like put it on the ground, position it.
This works.
I pointed out to my wife, I'm like, if you notice, he's not listening to music
at all.
Little Walkman.
And his eyes were purple, not red.
That's right.
That was the difference. And also the dude was like, oh my god, it's Star-Lord? Like,
I'm your biggest fan.
The two Necro soldiers are like, what just
happened? What just happened?
He was like clutching his pearls like, oh my god,
he totally stand out. He knew what it was. He was like, oh my god, wait, hold on, are you Star-Lord?
He was like, "Yo, I'll switch sides right now. Like, we don't have to. We don't have to do this."
This is the one time I think I probably won't ever complain about an episode so far. It was perfect. Anybody want to talk about how they felt about the episode? Were they really surprised? Is it anybody have a dislike at all? Like, I would be surprised.
It's
go
like
ahead.
super great, and I love the whole episode. If I have any complaint, and this is like a 2% kind of level complaint, it's like it was almost like too perfect. Like everything was almost too perfect to the point like Drax's family is still alive, and there's this, and there's that, and there's this, and like it's awesome, but it's I don't know. Oh, okay. I guess there's one downside. There's the big fight at the end that T'Challa's having with the bad of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Is you can see like I'm pretty sure that was Korg's arm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm like,
arm.
oh no, Korg.
Yeah,
it definitely was Korg's.
And he had like basically half the tools of the Avengers
That was my major question was, how do you set something up like that and not explain how that happens?
Right.
That's a lot to talk about. There's a chronology there.
While the rest of the galaxy might be doing super amazingly well right now, it seems like Earth is just not
struggling. Earth is struggling right now.
Wakanda's still good though. Wakanda is still good.
Exactly.
Always.
You know. Can we like briefly mention like Ego just be paying for stuff and don't follow up? Like, in both scenarios, whether when Quill was kidnapped and when we got the wrong kid, he was never delivered to Ego. Ego waited 20 years to be like, yo, damn, what happened to my delivery?
But what's 20 years to an immortal?
Very true. Very true.
He showed up on Earth was like, wasn't I supposed to get some? Oh,
yeah, that's exactly what happened. Right. He's like, wait a minute. Didn't I order something 20 years ago?
Becky actually just showed up at Dairy Queen like, yeah, I want some.
Yo, that probably was what happened.
You're my kid, bro.
He said, damn, I ain't had Earth ice cream in a minute. Let me pull up, bro.
Let me go.
I'm kind of curious because we saw Thanos and we saw Nebula, but there was like no mention of Gamora.
I know there's no Gamora if there's no Quill.
But... Well, no.
And
there's a Gamora. T'Challa did.
When he stopped him from going mad.
Like early. He stopped him really early on.
At like the age of 15.
Right. Like, you know, like for all we know, Titan is still sweet. Like we don't even know. Like
it just might be.
Like, he just came through and was like, yo, vibranium, it'll save everything. They're like, yeah.
I did notice too in some of the promotional material, Gamora is shown. But she's got that big old. She's got that big old Thanos sword now. So I'm wondering if like when Thanos is like, I'm not doing this anymore, Gamora's like, okay.
But I will.
Right. Dad, you done gone soft, bro.
Yeah, there's an episode where she fights Tony. I think it's part of the latter parts. Anyone have any dislikes at all? I know.
Like I said, my only dislike is the loosey-goosey way that they played with the timeline in terms of when this actually takes place, because this is approximately 20 years after 1988, which makes it 2008. Cap should still be in the ice, so how does the Collector have the shield?
Well, I think it's supposed to be 2012. Like,
is it supposed to be 2012?
I think that's roughly when it's supposed to be, because that's when the first Guardians takes place,
right? But see, that was the thing, like the idea of them saying that it was 20 years after
after 1988, right?
Well, also Tony had another prototype shield, and the Collector may have gone and gotten the shield.
That is true. I mean, like he might have found Cap, for reasons unknown, and just in this world things just happen differently. But it's just
might have
so
had
much.
A capsicle.
Yeah, even Hela's helmet, like she would have still been sealed inside Mjolnir, which he had right next to the helmet.
Right.
So I was like,
I'm like, how'd she
get out the helmet? How'd she get out the hammer for you to get the helmet?
What'd you do here? What'd you do? So that's my only complaint is like, y'all gave me a lot of things that I have questions about that I know you're not going to answer. The biggest one, of course, is what did you tell Thanos? Because I mean, like this whole thing has been like, I'm going to save the universe by killing half of y'all, and for T'Challa to be like,
he said, yo, bro, Twinkies never expire. We can feed everyone.
What you're saying is
we can feed everyone.
On Titan, they never had canned.
Never had. That's what it was. Bro. It was all perishable goods on Titan. They never had canned soup.
It was freaking like that. T'Challa went and convinced Thanos when he was 15, and I'm pretty sure that's like something like that. So like 15-year-old T'Challa walks up, he's like, look, we're going to talk about why this isn't a good idea. And Thanos is just blown away with this kid. This little kid is...
He's like, but it's efficient. He's like, yeah, but you're a monster. Don't do that. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
I love the idea that like Twinkies was the thing.
Save the world in Zombieland.
Come on.
Twinkies and Mephisto.
That's right.
That's all we need.
Together.
That's all we need.
Dude, you're gonna get a visit tonight. It's gonna be the darkest. So I hear you'll do anything for a Twinkie. Like, that's not really what I said. That's not what I said.
Go back. Let's watch it together. And you point out to me where I said that.
That's not what I said.
At all.
How did you guys feel about this episode in comparison to last week? Like I said, I thought
So much better.
I would have started with this one personally just because it was fun. And then to go from like everyone is murdered by Peggy to like, look how much fun we're having over here. It's just like, wow, these are extremes. I don't know how to feel about them.
I kind of like that they did it second because the bar was set so high with this episode. I feel like how we got this and then Captain Carter, I'd be like, wow, Captain Carter. I'm like, oh, this is what we're doing. Okay. So yeah, I thought that was a smart play to give us Captain Carter first and then go with this is like because now it's just like my faith in this show is like revitalized. I'm like, oh, this is what we're getting. All right, bet. Let's go.
Now, did anybody else sneak and look and see how many episodes these characters appear in?
He's in 4, right? Well, 3 more now after this. Yeah.
So I'm like,
you're gonna cry 3 more times.
I am
3 more times.
I'm excited about what that means. Like this world that they've created is not necessarily done in one.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. I think I mentioned it before. I have a theory that a stupid car commercial really solidified for me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. There's this animated car commercial where it's all of them fighting a bunch of Ultrons, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be something going on. Like it's T'Challa and Captain Carter back to back, and then here comes Thor at some point helping too. So
I want that.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm all the way down.
All the answers are in the Hyundai commercials, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, by the way, guess who intervened to get Thor there? The Watcher.
Yeah.
Cheater. Cheater.
See, he don't listen. He don't listen like the Eternals. They be listening. They don't get involved. They say,
to be fair, Matt, he's not called the listener, bro. He's called the watcher.
Little dude.
Where were you? They was like, well,
they're like, oh, they said don't.
They said don't, so we
and then
didn't.
they show like everything on fire and kids are crying, and it was like, we still can't.
Yo, it's one thing to like not intervene. It's another thing to like watch the shit and know you can't do nothing.
Listen. It's a great statement for how powerful the Celestials are. When they say no,
you just gotta sit there and watch.
Okay.
Because listen, maybe they've been around long enough to see what happened to the Watchers. They're like, yeah, we're not doing that.
There's a reason there's only one left. Like, we chilling. Like, we gonna listen.
Nope, not sure.
Hilarious.
So I know we talked about the big surprise of Thanos. Was there anything else that was really surprising about this episode? I mean, I think the most surprising thing was just like knowing that T'Challa was just cha-cha, and I was like, we're not gonna talk about why you cha-cha. And then she kept like doing this cha-cha. I'm like,
you know why?
Y'all banging? Like that's what we're doing?
Come on. We all grown-ups here. I know why she calls him cha-cha.
She came out that she had the lace front on. She came out the house. She was ready.
Is it though?
Right? Is it?
He stopped Thanos, like every time she'd fuck up, he would take an organic part from her. So I'm thinking he stopped Thanos before he could take her hair, and so she got to keep
basically after the eye.
Right.
Yeah,
right after the eye, she's like, "Yo, all right,
like,
that's enough."
Hey.
He said, "Remember what we talked about, Twinkies? Remember what we talked about?"
There was
like, "You're right, my bad."
There were 2 surprises for me after the Thanos one, of course, but for me it was that they had all these actors playing themselves, but they didn't get Dave Bautista to play Drax.
I think we called it. That was the money because he was only in one season. That was the money. There's like, no, we're not paying this man for 2 lines. Yeah, no, that's
right. That's why they looked at the budget. They were like,
it was like we over, over. It was that Howard the Duck cameo that put him over the top.
They did get Seth Green to play Howard the Duck, so I'm okay with
relatively.
That. I know.
Nah. He was charging a premium. He was like, so Guardians made how much?
Yeah.
The difference is he pulls down producer money now too. So
you're right.
Very, very true.
You're right. He be writing and stuff.
He's got that robot chicken money.
Exactly.
He got that Ninja Turtles money too.
Definitely.
All the bread.
I actually was surprised that they went back to Wakanda in this episode. I didn't think they were going to do that.
I thought
it was going to stop in space.
I really enjoyed it at the end when they're all just sitting around talking in Wakanda, and Thanos is again trying to explain, like, but like it's not, because it's random. It's not genocide.
He said, I know about the Twinkies, I get it,
right.
But
if you can hear me out.
Yeah, what he say? He said it's not genocide. It would have been random.
It would have been random.
It's random.
Random, man.
But like the way he delivers that line, because he's talking to Okoye,
Right.
and like Nebula's like, "Oh, Dad, stop!" Like
come on,
like she's you know he's flirting with her. That's exactly what's happening.
Mm-hmm. And
I
why wouldn't
mean,
you? And why
listen, you know,
Nice.
bald head to bald head. He's like,
there you go.
Ours together.
How about you climb a cosmic mountain? No,
You know what I'm saying? Hey, come on. Dora Milaje me. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
there you go. There you go.
Milaje toi. Let's go.
He said, "E-bomb, hey."
Yo, where are our t-shirts? What are
Look,
we doing?
we need
These are the lines.
if you're
right?
sign us.
Come on.
Marvel, we know you watching.
Let's go. Let's
cut the check.
How
Cut the
about
check.
you, Matt? Was there anything you were surprised by besides Thanos?
How much they leaned on Howard the Duck? I thought he legit was gonna walk past, like keep it pushing. Like he was Milton from Suicide Squad. Like he was with us the whole time.
He's like, you don't want to get a drink first before.
But I loved how much they made Tavana badass. Like he was just like, damn, just take Thanos out. He's just a G. Like my man was like
surprising to me too. Was like Thanos is like corny without the Infinity Stones.
It's,
like
it's not the stones, it's he doesn't have that conviction anymore.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
drive that he used to have.
Like, why are we so worried about you? Like,
he's like a retired dad now. He's just like
he kept gardening. He
took up gardening.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's exactly what it was.
I did think that he would have handled the Black Order a little harder, but you know, they needed their due too, because they kind of got washed by, you know, some of the lightest in the Avengers.
Wong.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not for like, okay, let's keep it 100. Like, I'll keep it a total stack. I love Cap, I love Falcon, I love Widow, but they are literally on the low end scale of things. So for them to have stopped 2 members of the Black Order, like,
right.
Well, they stopped the least powered of the Black Order. They literally stopped the guys that need weapons. So like it's not like they were up against freaking Maw, which
who got killed by space.
But wait, but like that's the thing, like they went after the 2 that needed weapons, who also went after one of the strongest persons possible in Wanda and Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Like
you
know, but the 3 non-powered people like, hold on, here we come. We're gonna help. Gang, we got you.
They called up Mickey Mouse.
That's basically what happened. What happened?
Oh, we got him. Wow.
Look, as a tabletop game, that's what happened. All I can say to turn the tide of a fight, all it takes is one critical hit, and he can turn the tide of a fight.
It did,
and that's what happened.
Oh God! I will
She's
say
like,
that
throw
just said that Cap rolls a nat 20 every time. He's
got it. Let's roll for initiative.
There you go.
And he's like, assemble. Yes.
They're like, he's like, throw spear, and he's like, I'm gonna use deflect arrows, but because I also have it, snatch arrow. I got the spear now. And they're like, God damn it.
Come on.
Oh my God.
Cap's die has all 20s.
Yeah, our big bad was the Collector, which I didn't think was Benicio del Toro until I looked it up, because he also didn't sound like him.
Yeah, he didn't.
That's not Benicio.
Yeah.
This is like, I know my Latinos. That don't sound like him.
He didn't sound bad. It just didn't sound like
it
right. Didn't sound like the same delivery.
Yeah,
right.
no. And also he was like more like the Cock Diesel version of the Collector
Right.
too.
Super buff.
His voice was different because he was so
because he was
he was
on
like
that super
the muscles were sitting on his vocal cords.
Yeah, like
that's commitment.
Also,
it's commitment to the character.
It was the muscles and the lack of shirt.
Yeah.
He had a fur. He was like Safari. He just had a fur and nothing else.
Just sitting.
No.
I didn't know he captured Prince, did you? Because he definitely did.
He was giving Mad Craven vibes.
Yeah,
I was just like, this isn't your look, sir.
It was so extra. So like once we get to nowhere and we get to the Collector's, area, there are so many Easter eggs. I think I watched the second time just to be like, double check what I thought I saw is what I saw. And a lot of them were really surprising. I get like the Howard the Duck thing. Like I knew it was coming, but like I said, I didn't think he was going to be talking so much.
Right.
I was like, wow. He's like, don't you want to get a drink? And I'll show you the way. And I'm like, is he still here? Like
it's Milton. It was
you
Milton.
got 3 minutes of him, and I only saw Cosmo once. Like that's not how I felt about it.
Right.
You see him twice. He comes back later.
He comes back,
Right.
but that was my main concern. Like if they don't take Cosmo, I'm gonna lose my shit on this episode.
Yeah.
Like,
No, come on, that would make sense. You know, T'Challa is a cat dude. He doesn't like dogs.
Yeah, it
Like,
would have
He
made.
went with
Yeah,
Thanos,
but
which I also thought was
T'Challa-
adorable.
T'Challa is like super compassionate. So
He is.
like
in this,
He
he's
is.
so kind, so kind.
he is.
There was also my other one that was like the X-wing. Like, why does he have the
I mean, why wouldn't
X-wing?
he got it.
Mickey
you know.
Mouse, Mickey, what they called
He got it a
Mickey,
long
can we
time
borrow?
he comes from a galaxy far, far
Yeah,
away
yeah. He
a
just
long,
collected
long time
that.
ago.
It
you
makes
go.
it makes so much more
So
sense.
it's an antique.
Uh,
Yeah, and I've heard rumblings that a Star Wars Marvel crossover is like on the table. Like,
Well, like
Wow.
20, 30 years ago, Marvel made the Star Wars comics.
Exactly.
Yep.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So
I
they're
used
saying
to
that
have
like
some.
talks are being had as to what that would look like.
Nice.
Which I ain't mad at it. I'm here for it.
that was like when they were kept saying like, oh, the reason why Kingdom Hearts 3 is taking forever because like they're gonna put Marvel and Star Wars in it, and then it never happened. I was like, okay, so why did it take 15 years? Is what
But
I'm
they
Alright,
trying
could
to
have
get
done
at.
DLC.
And then, look, I would have paid for it. So like I said, mad Easter eggs. What was your like favorite one? Which was the one you were most surprised by? Joseph, tell me first.
It was the collector's sheer collection of weapons that he had on hand. That he's just like, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use Cap Shield. I'm gonna use this and this. Use the Mjolnir and all this crap. And it's just what? Come on, man. Come on.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Him
about
pulling
you?
Hella's helmet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then like still doing
Yeah.
her thing. Like,
Yeah, they did the pose.
I was like,
Made a comment about her style, how much she
Yeah.
was so stylish.
Oh my god.
If all it took that whole time for Ragnarok, just get her helmet off and you're good.
Thor, you suck, bro.
that's all you needed to do.
Oh, yeah, I got your hat.
and then it's a wrap.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Would've been
but see,
fun.
that's funny too, because that means that like as bad as things are on Earth and as good as things seem in the galaxy, apparently things are crap on Asgard right now too.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
for
yeah.
Hela to come back, Odin have to be dead.
Right.
So
Or maybe
Yeah.
he
T'Challa
traded him.
didn't get there yet. He didn't
Maybe
get
he
there yet.
traded him. No. Odin's the type that he would have traded, Hela to
Oh,
Vaughn.
yeah.
Like, so listen,
I got this daughter and this hammer.
Wow, though. She's mad wild. I guess that's also true because, like, we don't know that he had an interaction with Thor because Odin's the one who had the hammer. So it's possible he traded them both. Like,
Thor had the hammer even in the first Thor movie. He was using it.
Right.
It's just Odin hadn't put the thing on it yet.
Right.
right.
But
like,
Vic,
Odin
you
had
on to
the hammer
something.
first.
Yeah, I was about
Right.
to say, Vic, you on to something because Howard the Duck, when given directions, he said like, "Yo, make a left at the Frost Giants." Like
Right.
he could have just had everybody.
Everybody. Odin just traded it in like
he had Loki, Thor, he had Hela, he had the whole family.
He
yo.
had Malekith and all them. Just take it. I don't want
Yep.
any parts.
Yep, I'm done with
Yep.
these.
Yep.
How about you?
Don't
How
Vic?
need
messed
it.
up would that be, man? If Odin conquers everybody and just gives you up to the collector, like that's your jail now.
Pretty
It
much.
makes him more
I-
unlikable than he already was.
Yeah, Odin's already pretty unlikable.
He was already just like, oh. Especially he was like my only child, my only biological child, and Frigga's just like, for real. You only have
Oh,
one
you saw that meme?
No, but you can see in the movie she side-eyed him like, really?
No, there's a meme out like now, like a new
Yeah.
meme, and
I
it
love
said like, "Yo, Frigga knew what was up from the rip."
We just have the one.
We got one kid.
No, come on.
No, that's the question.
That
too,
wasn't
is
that
Hela-
wasn't Hela was not Frigga's daughter.
I
Like
was
not
saying,
at
is
all.
Hela
She
from a
still
previous
knew.
marriage?
I think so.
That's why she was spicy about it. Like, oh, you got
Like,
one kid now.
oh, so
Okay,
you
all
only
right, all right. You've only been with just me. Okay, you right.
This
you
is
right.
that what we fight about every night. We don't talk about
Every night.
every night we fight about
You
this
see,
shit.
You-
at the end of the fight, he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Odin sleep for a while and just.
And you're
sleep."
like, oh, I
I'm
bet
tired of
you
you.
That's why he really went to Odin sleep. He's like, yo, he said, Loki, bro, I can't do this no more. Just
I can't.
put a spell on me, bro, please.
Your mom wilding out here.
she
Yo.
tripping. Yeah.
I'm about to take a nap. For days.
Okay, Victor, what was your favorite Easter eggs?
I actually love the scene with the ships. Obviously, seeing the Wakandan ship was huge. But then there are a bunch of Easter eggs in there where a bunch of them are from the Grand Master. Which I think is pretty dope because I mean, obviously they're supposed to be related. So then you have these questions like, well,
brothers,
right? So like, are they playing that up? Is it like, Grandmaster was actually, on his party ship on the other side? Like, what was going on? Like, there's a lot of cool with that.
How about you, Matt? What was your favorite Easter egg?
I wouldn't necessarily call it an Easter egg, but if it's like basing it off of like the continuity of like Guardians and Infinity War, I loved Karina finally getting her just dues as a servant. I loved that moment. She's like, oh, I know what to do with this. Yeah, I thought that was dope.
Which only further shows like T'Challa's ability to talk people into doing the right thing. Because she instantly heard that speech. She was like, you are so right.
Yep.
Resonated with her.
I really dig that because of that. The collector's final words are just like, oh, karma.
He knew what it was.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. That damn karma.
That damn karma.
Oh God.
She back.
She's back.
Which is funny because the collector was killed by Thanos in I think it was Infinity Wars.
Allegedly.
Maybe.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see,
Nowhere was sacked, and then Thanos was beating the crap out of an illusionary collector.
Right. I mean,
would the collector leave his collection?
No.
I think the collector would give up his collection if it meant he could stay collecting. I think
that's fair.
Yeah. Because Thanos is like,
always recollect.
Exactly.
He just decided to start a new game, like erase his old game on his Pokemon cartridge and start a new one.
Pick a different starter.
New save, new cartridge.
Yeah. that was a bold move.
Ant-Man bubble ship, Joseph. The Ant-Man bubble ship was one of the ships the collector
had.
It
was.
I was like, oh, that's not his favorite drink. I was the one who brought it up to side.
There was so much.
There was the X-wing, the bubble ship, the dark elves. He had Malekith's soul dagger thing. Based on the collector having all those weapons, do we think that the Avengers are dead? Or does Earth have no Avengers in this particular timeline?
Earth is just that Dairy Queen where Quill works.
Just only the Dairy Queen.
There's nothing else on Earth.
Dairy Queen and Wakanda.
Yeah, Dairy Queen. Nothing in between.
Well, listen, by the end of the episode, I think that's very true because once Ego shows up, we know what's behind the Dairy Queen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's probably I mean they make a point of commenting on that too about like oh this could be bad for this world, but they got T'Challa. T'Challa can rally everyone.
Of course,
he's good. I also love that like that Dairy Queen looked clean. I said, but why is he still there cleaning? You know what I mean? Like
it's been closed.
I'm just gonna say this as someone that lives in a small like suburban style town that has like way too much forest and space around it. Sometimes you don't really have anything else to do but stay after hours, get paid to do nothing.
Okay. I was just like, but it looks really shiny to me.
When I worked at a video game store over here, like we would close at 9 and I'd be there till 11, just slowly doing all the closing.
Nothing else to do.
Nothing else to do. You said it's an event.
Yeah.
Oh God. Which leads me to I want to talk about the big thing, which is this is Chadwick Boseman is in 4 of these episodes. It's one of the last things he did before he passed away. It was really emotional for me. Like I started crying when I could hear him having fun. Like especially he was like, "No, you can go ahead and punch me." Like I can tell, like he must have been smiling his ass off when he was saying that, and that made me so emotional. And as he continues, like as I watched it, I kept getting more and more emotional. And then once they go like to our hero, our friend, like I was just like,
oh yeah, that end credit that got me. And then they played like the sad music. I was like,
I wanted to play like See Me Again from Fast and the Furious.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Charlie Puth's gonna eat off that song for the rest of his life.
Big Wiz was about to jump in. I was like, oh.
They never need to do anything ever again.
Ever.
So it was really emotional for me listening to just hearing how much fun he had. Which makes me like excited to see what else he does in these episodes, but also sad again just because
I'm gonna want more.
You want more of it, but it also hurts as like this is probably the end of it. Like we won't get anything else from him. So it was really touching for me. as you guys, I know before we were on live, we were talking a little bit about it, and everybody was talking about they were crying. Would you like to tell me why specifically you were crying? Let's start with Victor. You
So
did it for the culture, because
no, I mean,
Tears
first
for
of
the
all,
culture.
I'm light skinned, so we super sensitive. Okay, let's just keep that. I gotta keep it a buck on that one. We super sensitive off rip. So clearly, am I lying? Am I lying?
No.
You're not wrong.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. Like, where the lie at? So, like, when I first heard him, it was a return to everything, right? Like, it wasn't just the grief, it was also backed up by the sheer excitement of his portrayal of T'Challa from Civil War, and then expounded upon in Black Panther. Like, it was everything, and it was odd because I think for the first time ever in my adult life, I missed somebody that I never met. You know what I mean? And that's really what it boiled down to, was like, I miss this guy. And it's not like we've ever, shared air or a meal or anything, but his portrayal mattered in such a way that, having that return to it, it's not even like a nostalgic return strictly, because this is something brand new. So it's like you lose a family member and then you find out they left you a message, and that's the thing that you can hear. Like, I was Zemo. That's what it was. I was Zemo listening to
His
the
wife.
phone call. Yes. And that's what it felt like. Like, it was like, oh man. And then you go through the joy of this episode, and you get to that black screen with those white letters, and you're just like,
said, really, Disney Plus, that's what we doing,
right? Like I told you, I gave the television the finger, because it made me feel that strongly all over again. It was like we had done this. Okay, we had the good times, we brought it back, and then you go do this. It's like, why you want to hurt me? Why you want to hurt me?
How are you?
It's not a question of who hurt me. You hurt me.
You hurt me.
How did you feel? Listening to his voice again and seeing that.
Very similarly, like I think it hurt a lot too, because we got to see like how much fun he could have with this kind of character, and the range, his ability to take literally the same character he's already played and do something completely different with it. Because T'Challa originally was very serious because it was like the kingly mentality, but like this was like carefree T'Challa, still doing his goodness, just without a care in the world, really. And knowing that he was able to do this with this character and still seem like he's just having such a good time with it, it's sadness for the impact this actor had on not just myself but so many people, and knowing that this is the only impact he'll be able to make, and knowing he could do so much more because he is such a great actor. And I'm tearing up thinking about it right now.
I get it.
Matt,
Yeah,
want to make the rest of the tears fall?
Oh yeah, sure.
I got that
No.
tear like right here.
Yeah, that one lonely tear. No, but it's just like we've talked about it like off camera and now here, just like the fact that like just swapping out Peter Quill with T'Challa like essentially fixed the universe, and like that's how much of an impact T'Challa the character had on the Marvelverse. And it just makes me think, like, while filming the first Black Panther, and you would imagine timeline wise, while recording these lines, my man was fighting cancer and like not saying anything, like making no complaints, like not talking about it. And I was talking to my man Mike, shout out to Mike. We were like kind of just going over like the what if episodes and everything, and talking about Black Panther. And like I was saying, I was just like, yo, that's such a crazy thing, like to see like the state that he was in before he transitioned, like the shape that he was in the first movie, the promotion and the toll that being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe could take on. So like the fact that he was battling cancer during that time silently,
right,
is like just such like a crazy feat. Like he's like a real life superhero, bro. It's just like I don't think we'll ever like get another like feat of like altruisticness like than that. And like Yali's been saying, like he was having so much fun. Is I can only imagine like what he was going through physically while recording these lines, and like Joe said, like breathing new life into a character that he's been playing for years, and just loving it. I was like, man, what a guy.
Well, and then like you gotta wonder, like, did he have like uncertainty going into all this stuff, like not
Right.
knowing how much longer he could keep going and just not
Right.
really letting it like
Mhm.
impact his work? It's just
Yeah.
it's crazy and it hurts. And
Yeah, it was very especially as somebody who like I deal with invisible illnesses and like even I couldn't recognize that he was sick, and like I've been sick for a long time. It's like I didn't even notice. You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
like it put that in perspective for me. And like I don't know, I'm probably one of the few people who play the Square Enix Marvel game. They just did the Wakanda
Yeah.
DLC, and the voice actor sounds nothing like
Oh, not at
any
all.
T'Challa I've ever heard in my life. And I was like, it made me so sad because I was like, if he was alive, I know he would have done it. You know what I mean? Like he would have brought that. Like I really could not give like the story of the game was like cool, but like I could not give a shit because I could not stand that
you
it wasn't
muted
Chadwick
it.
Boseman.
had to play on mute
I was like, I don't give a shit.
while listening to Black Panther.
Exactly.
All the stars just playing in the background. I was just
played
like,
the old Ultimate Alliance games for so long, and it was kind of a very similar vibe because they got
Yeah.
I think a voice actor that sounds similar to the Ultimate Alliance games playing him in
Yeah.
it was
Square
just
Enix
it was
one.
just
And like
stark.
me and my older daughter play Lego Marvels, the Lego Marvel superhero game, and the Black Panther that sounds like the one from the Square Enix game.
Yeah, it's just like this isn't. I don't want this.
It's funny because I listened to the dialogue today that he's got a dialogue scene with Thor or something like that talking about Mjolnir, and both of them sound so.
They sound like the Walmart
weird.
versions of
Oh.
themselves.
Because Thor sounds like he's trying like too much to be his dad, and like
Yes.
I miss like fun Chris Hemsworth Thor, and then like this one, they're both just not.
It's nasty.
It's not them. It's not them.
Look, there's a reason why that game isn't making Square Enix any money, and I
had such high hopes for that game too.
I'm a
I was so
Kamala
excited.
Khan fan, and putting her as the lead character made me super excited. But the game
gosh,
itself
she was so
just looks,
cute. But it was just,
the game itself just looks like garbage.
yeah. But speaking of things that are not crap, you know, we're in the multiverse. After seeing this episode, I know in the first episode we all had some theories. Did anyone's theories change based on episode 2? And I'm just gonna say my trigger word, which is not NDA, it's Secret Wars.
Yeah.
I'm pretty like the vibe I got just based on everything that I saw. I was like, oh, I think they're doing Secret Wars, which you know, like they all end up on a planet and they're all fighting, blah blah blah. And there was like, you know, Howard the Duck there, and then there's, you know, Thanos, and I was seeing a lot of the same characters. I was like, oh, they're in Secret Wars and they're in Secret Wars. But my thing is, I know that Kevin Feige said like there's no Fantastic Four and what if, and there are no X-Men. So I'm like, well, then that means we can't do Secret Wars without them, can we? Or is he just lying?
I mean,
because
we did
people
Civil
lie.
War.
I'm about to say we did Civil War without Reed Richards.
We did Civil War without half of
but
the thing that made Civil War a big deal.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
true.
mutants.
But I,
Right.
yeah, very true. Yeah, but I, after this episode, I was like, I don't know. I get a gut feeling that maybe they are doing Secret Wars because the Watcher was a big part of that. Like he snitched. He was like, look, you might want these people and these people because shit gonna go down. And then so I was like, oh, we have the Watcher who we know was eventually gonna snitch in this thing, and we were seeing a lot of the characters who were in the Secret Wars. I was like, maybe it ends with the Secret Wars, just like a different version. Like you said, we did Civil War without X-Men and Fantastic Four. Maybe we could do it this way too. So so I'm switching over saying that this is a Secret Wars thing, and that's probably how it flows into the MCU, because again, the Eternals are going to show up. We have in the Marvels are going to show up. You know, at some point we know in this phase an X-Men or a Fantastic Four has to show up. Someone, it could just be, you know, the Thing. Somebody from any of these things are going to pop up somewhere. So I think that this whole play, you know, with Galactus and Kang the Conqueror, I think it all leads to the Secret Wars. So that's my new theory. How about you guys?
Yeah, no, I'm rolling. So again, conspiracy theories here. So recently, the actress who played Gemma Simmons on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., someone had like commented under her picture, like talking about like Secret Wars, and I guess Simmons' character is in the Secret Wars, or it's like maybe they're not like a major character, but in it.
Yeah.
And they had like commented like, "Hey, are you ever gonna be in the MCU?" And she gave like a can't talk about it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was what she gave, like one of those. And then a photo that like leaked, that take it with a grain of salt. There was like a call sheet for like assistants for certain actors, and like Clark Gregg's name was on there. It said like such and such Clark Gregg's assistant. such and such, and they're like named like Chloe Bennett, like and named like a lot of people who were in the Agents of Shield show, and there's like saying that they're gonna like supposed to be coming back at like a soft reboot that's supposed to like lead. And isn't like the Secret Invasion show like already
They're
like
already filming
greenlit?
that.
Yeah,
It's already. It just started filming about 2 weeks ago, and they've
Secret
announced.
Invasion was filming.
Yeah.
Started, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they started filming.
yeah. It's like in Atlanta, right, or something like that.
they're in
Because she
Atlanta.
the girl who played Simmons was in Atlanta,
Yep.
and that's
Right.
they asked her like, "Yo, are you coming back?" She's like, "Oh, I don't know." Like,
Wouldn't that be great?
could you imagine?
That would be so wow. Bless your heart for asking.
So yeah, so I'm on the Secret Wars train. I'm rolling.
How
I'm
about you,
definitely
Victor?
rolling.
I'm gonna step outside of Secret Wars.
No?
I'm gonna say that what we're looking
Public
at,
Wars.
Yeah, Public Wars.
Right, it's not a secret.
No, I think what they might pull is the Ultimate Universe Cataclysm. I think that might be something where they have all these different worlds that they can showcase and kill, and the idea of what killed them is going to that's going to set up some of the big bad. That's what it is that the thing that's going to kill them is going to be something that only the Watcher knows, right? He's the one that has seen it. He's the one that has witnessed it. And that's going to be what he snitches later on, is what happened to this world's stuff, right? This universe's stuff. And of course, we all know that the thing that's going to eat it is going to be Galactus. We're not going to see it, but that's what's going to happen.
I like that.
I'm throwing that out
All right,
there.
Joseph, what about you?
So I think that like while this is going to do its own kind of vaguely Secret Wars thing, it's not going to be like Kang level Secret Wars.
Right, right.
Like I think this is going to be like a secret localized conflict.
He said a hush hush confrontation.
Yeah. It's a whispered argument.
That's all it is. But I think it's going to be that like I mentioned before, like one of the episode name is like Infinite Ultron and stuff. Right. I think it's like Ultron learned magic learned
Ultron
going to other dimensions and stuff. So I think it's literally like Ultron's like, all right, let's evade like 2 adjacent realities. Let's do this. Come on, let's go. I'm going to network between them and we're just going to keep going. Nice. And that's when the Watcher is going to be like, nah, we're not doing that. Let me get all these other champions from these other realms.
This guy's coming. Y'all might yeah.
So and like I think we're going to start seeing them thread together, because we still have like Doctor Strange to be introduced,
like
and
Party
it's
Thor,
Strange, like it's Doctor Strange like Supreme or something like that. It's supposed to be like 85-year-old Doctor Strange who's seen some things. And then there's the Zombies world too, which by the way does have a Captain America, because he's one of the zombies. But I think we get a Spider-Man that's also a Doctor Strange in that one, or a Sorcerer Supreme. So we're gonna get some interesting crossovers, and I imagine Party Thor is Thor that like didn't go crazy and like cause a lot of havoc and then get his hammer taken away from him.
Yeah, I'm curious to what that's gonna be.
Party Thor definitely got his hammer taken away.
Now he just parties.
He never becomes worthy again.
What are the odds that Party Thor will have a scene where he's at a strip club? Like, what do you think? Because if we know that T'Challa is banging the crap out of what's called Nebula, and we murdered everyone in the first episode, are we gonna get it? A strip club in the MCU?
I mean, maybe.
No, I would see Party Thor going to like a kegger before going to a strip
Definitely
club.
A kegger.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And if they don't take Party House or Party Rock by
LMFAO.
And change it up. Party Thor is in the house tonight.
Oh my god!
Like, what are they even doing?
I'm an Asgardian. Come on.
Come hire us, Marvel. Hire us.
Nick, also write all of this down. Unfortunately, we are running out of time, but this was such a really good episode, and I couldn't have talk about it with anybody but you guys, because I knew it was going to be a hoot. I didn't think Twinkies was going to come up.
Twinkies and Mephisto.
I was
and
Ant-Man, and I had to say my Secret Wars, but I still think it's Secret Wars. I don't know, and I think that's the reason why Venom keeps getting pushed back, because I think they're trying to find a way to get him in our MCU, and Venom was part of the whole. But anyways,
Yeah, you don't say no to Tom Hardy. He's not the guy to say no to.
He's so good in those in that movie.
It's true. It's true.
And he plays both.
He does.
Right.
Ooh, a red one.
He said, "Oh shit, that's a red one."
That's still my favorite line.
Yo, that's what's so funny. Yo.
So yeah, let's have you guys shamelessly promote yourselves. Matt, how about you? Where can the people find you?
You know the vibes. It's underscore menace to sobriety on Instagram. That is the number 2, not spelled out. Matthew Porter on Facebook. Also Ether underscore pod on IG. Ether podcast every Sunday on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor. You dig?
Love it.
Victor, what about you? Where can the people find you?
You can find me at Vantage In-House on all forms of social media. Every week, you can catch me on Black, White, and Red all over, the bestest comic book review show in the entire interwebs. Check out bestest comictown.tv on the interwebs, of course. Beyonce's interwebs, just to be specific, as to not Al Gore's, Beyonce's. And then of course there's You Create Comics, letter U, CRE, the number 8 comics.com. If you guys want to make comics yourselves or bring comics into the classroom, that is the site to hit up, and we have amazing programming to help you do so.
Oh, look at you being the T'Challa you want to see in the world.
I'm just saying.
Joseph, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at the Spice Must Joe. You can find me at a myriad of other social medias with amongst a sea of Joseph Davises, because there's a lot of us out there.
Variants.
Yeah, totally.
Variants and deviants.
And you can find me on Fandom Spotlite, where I write stuff sometimes when I can, when anxiety is not murdering me. But yeah, that's about it.
Oh, and I'm Yali. Yes, again, I will not be here next week because I'm going on medical leave. Send me Mario edible arrangements. Apparently, I have Super Mario edible arrangements, and that's all I'm accepting. So, if you want to send me an edible arrangement, you can't
bite the head off of Waluigi. What are you even doing?
There's like a Yoshi and everything. I was like, that's all I want. Yeah, so I will not be here next week, but doesn't mean you guys can't come back to watch episode 3. It's gonna be crazy. You guys don't need the NDA or anything. You can
we
just
can compare
up.
it to so much anime.
Yeah, so much anime.
So much anime. I will
all of it.
We're not even gonna talk about What If.
Oh my god.
What if this was an anime?
Like the My Hero parallels, insane.
That's what's happening. Is next week we're doing our own What If, and it's What If this was actually just talking about anime.
That's our Nexus. That's our Nexus event. Yali not being here.
Whoa!
Look,
I love it.
Yeah.
Comes together.
So yeah, like I said, I'm Yali. You guys can find me here at Fandom Spotlite. You can find me on the Big Anime. And as always, remember, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. We'll be here again next week, and remember to follow your fandoms. And everybody have a good night. Say goodbye to the people.
Bye.